What's up, Zox fam? We're back with some more Godforge. Now, we have once again been honored to be able to showcase another Friday's leaks. So I'm actually pretty excited because this again is diving into some more lore, one of my favorite characters within Greek mythology. Now, I am going to give the disclaimer here. I'm not 100% sure which specific character this is because it doesn't actually state. But I decided to actually go with this under the premise that this is obviously one of the Gorgon sisters. Now, the thing about this, if you're familiar with Medusa, I feel like she's probably like one of the big, like, kind of like just up front and like just always talked about Gorgon. And that is mainly because of the fact that, for those of you guys that don't know, out of the Gorgon sisters, she was the only one that wasn't immortal. So everyone outside of her, which is Satheno and Uriel, they all have immortality, and Medusa did not, which is why she was able to be slain by Perseus, right? Now, of course, with that, we basically have a depiction of a Gorgon of some sort, and I don't know which Gorgon sister or if this is just Medusa. I have no idea. Would be kind of neat if they did decide to dive a little bit deeper into the trio's like lore and just that relationship. Even just having them as different units where they bring different like values to the game would be kind of sick. Not gonna lie, that would be completely different, and I haven't really seen many games take that approach. But the reason why I was like kind of like not 100% sure was because of the things that were being implemented. Now, I'm assuming this is with like further development because this is the concept art, but on this initial one you kind of see like the scales, kind of like that reptilian skin, you know, a little bit more on the monster side, right? Like you have the snakes in the hair, which is obviously like a big trait of what most people would just identify with Medusa. But of course, with that, what we kind of see here, which is a little bit different, and this is why I actually really like this take, is that this is kind of going more into like the battle Gorgon, which is like not really going so much into the full, like, you know, half like, you know, human on top and then half reptilian or half animal. But this is kind of giving just complete humanoid, right? So you basically have here towards the bottom, you have essentially legs, right? Like, so that's already a whole different spiel here. But then you kind of see on the knees, you kind of have like that Gorgon kind of like, I would say kind of monstrous knee padding. And so of course this is obviously still in development, so we're not able to see it in its entirety, like things shaded and like color palettes. But I will say just the template being used for the character is actually pretty cool. Now, I think that again, if this is kind of spilling over into more of like an entire theme for the Gorgon sisters, I think them all having, if they are at any point implemented, them all having different visual appeals would actually be pretty cool, because there were actually power differences between them all. They all had different abilities, different strengths, and of course I think their weaknesses are all relatively the same, but nonetheless, I think that that would actually be pretty cool to see depicted within you know, in Godforge. I think that that would actually be really sick. Now, of course, outside of that, the other things that I just always like kind of have my eyes drawn to, gauntlets are always a really big thing for me. And then I don't know what to call these. It's kind of like the amulets around, like it's usually around like the upper like cusp of the bicep. Sometimes it's at the lower, like in between the elbow and the bottom of your bicep. But you can see that there's that right there as well. So it's just kind of giving like this fluid connecting of like just essentially the garments, right? So it's really interesting because I feel like, again, they definitely could have went more onto the like we try to do more waifu, but they really seem to have gone for more of a battle hardened version of the Gorgon or Medusa, which I actually can appreciate. Right now, of course, on this last one over here to the right, we do get some wing action, which is again another visual that isn't typically depicted. The Gorgons actually did have wings, or some of them in certain depictions they did have wings. Obviously not massive ones, but yeah, they did have them. So I guess it just all kind of depends on like what exactly you're looking at. But I think that that is also something that could be really cool and just kind of giving that diversifying approach and unique feel to the character. So I'm actually, like I said, intrigued to see what they're going to do as far as the implementation, showing like in-game, like the snake's movement and things of that nature. And then of course, like the overall personality of Medusa, because I think Medusa can be looked at in a lot of different ways. ways. And depending on which Gorgon sister you're looking at, it also could, like, you know, definitely change as well. But I would say, at least with Medusa, Medusa definitely is one of those characters where there's definitely some points at which you can look at her entire situation and feel bad for her, but she also has committed heinous like acts against people, right? So it definitely is a really interesting character, and I think that's why she's always been one of my favorites, not just because she can turn people to stone, but because she actually has really good story behind her, and even leading up to everything, like, it's just really sick. So again, shout out to the team behind Fateless, the team, obviously same people behind Godforge. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk about this because, again, this is just a really like cool stuff. I like seeing this first, you know, beforehand stuff and kind of sparking that conversation. I know some of you guys probably didn't know I'm really a mythology buff, so I like talking about this stuff. But that's going to be basically that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. What do you feel like they could also implement as some other, like, you know, I would say reputable or just like really, really well renowned or even not renowned mythological beast that exists in this universe? So let me know in the comment section down below. That's going to be that. Everyone stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.